Hello everyone, I am Duke, and in today's video we will be diving into the lore for the Schwerfeld technology in the world of Konflikt 47. If you're new to the channel then welcome, and for my returning viewers let me know what you think of this devastating weaponry in the comments below. Konflikt 47 is an alternate history World War II setting produced by Warlord Games in Nottingham, England. With what seemed to be the end of the war in sight, atomic weaponry was deployed to devastating effect, but it had some unforeseen circumstances. With rifts in space-time opening at the test site in Los Alamos and the bomb site in Dresden, rapid technological advancement occurred by studying the anomalies caused by these rifts. Now, in the year of 1947, the fate of the world hangs in the balance as man, monster, and machine fight all-out war for the fate of the world. Of the major contenders in this weird world war, the Axis, under the command of the Green Vault, have some of the most terrifying rift technology available. While their scientists may not have had access to a rift for as long as those in Los Alamos, they have certainly made their mark on the emergent field of rift technology. It's also true that some of the technology used by the Axis isn't as refined as their allies in Japan, but the raw power of Axis rift tech is certainly undeniable. But before we dive into the main topic of today's video, I just have a short ad to show you all to help support the channel. And with that out of the way, that brings me to the technology we are going to discuss today. So without further ado, let's see how powerful the Schwerfeld technology really is. To begin with, gravity is the undeniable force that holds all things to this tiny ball of cosmic rock we call Earth as it spins through the galaxy circling the life-giving star at the heart of our solar system. And no, I'm not about to tell you that somehow gravity is different in Konflikt 47, but I am going to tell you that people in the setting have found out a way to distort and weaponize it. This began, as all rift tech for the Axis did, with the atomic cataclysm of Dresden. While the bomb being dropped on Dresden certainly caught many off guard, the Green Vault, the hidden shadow organisation pulling the strings of the Axis, were not as surprised as the rest of Germany, as the atomic weapon dropped from the bays of a US bomber, watching everything from its short fall to the weapon factories of Dresden. Unbeknown to the Americans, the Green Vault scientists had a vast array of sensors watching the expected detonation site, relaying information to heavily reinforced bunkers miles from the city where the Green Vault watched with eager eyes. Now, clearly the eager viewing of the destruction of your own weapons factories is certainly strange, but this is the Green Vault we are discussing, and if we can describe them as anything, strange would be one of the kinder words you may be able to use. But these scientists looked on the bomb's destruction with hope, the hope to capture as much information about the explosion as they could, both for posterity, but also to examine the destructive capabilities of the atomic weaponry brought against them. Tens of thousands of lives were vaporized in an instant, the ground of Dresden shook and buildings crumbled into dust as the blast wave advanced. At its heart, reality ripped open, the Dresden Rift emerged, and the events surpassed the Green Vault's wildest dreams. Months of study were required to pore over the data that these sensors gathered. Much of it was difficult to understand, much of it was beyond the immediate comprehension of the scientists, who now eagerly picked through every line of data that they had. One thing in particular though, was immediately apparent to these scientists. The rift had a direct and unnatural effect on Earth's gravity. The destroyed city was analysed ad nauseum, with a feverish thirst for further understanding of the destructive capabilities that the rift may now afford the Axis. Of course, this exploration and analysis of the ruins of Dresden was dangerous, atomic radiation was ever present, but so too were stranger phenomena. But naturally, due to the scientists' initial realizations about the rift's effects on gravity, the first of its anomalies to be fully explored was its gravitational distortions. But this first breakthrough was not actually intentional, and was rather accidentally and unfortunately discovered by a scouting party of scientists that stumbled into an area containing a high concentration of rift energy. Those who were not torn limb from limb or compressed into puddles of unrecognizable offal were just far enough from the effects of the rift's energies to feel their bodies take on an oppressive weight many times heavier than their norm. As the Axis began to slowly understand the rifts, these gravitational anomalies were isolated and stabilized. Eventually, they were even reproduced in tests, creating lethal high gravity fields that were quickly moved from the testing phase to weaponized concepts for battlefield use. These weapons were the first of the Schwerfeld, roughly translating as heavy field weapons. These lethal weapons amplify gravity on a localized point with the use of powerful magnetic fields. The magnetic fields interact with each other and the Earth as they pass invisibly through air, their strength and potency approaching a critical mass to destroy anything caught in their field of effect. Workable prototypes were demanded by the Green Vault as early as 1945. Now, given this demand was made in late 1944, it sent the research and design teams into a panic. The insatiable demands of the Green Vault for ever more powerful weaponry saw the first Schwerfeld projectors ready by March of 1945, only days before their near impossible deadline. Given the extreme panic and brutal timeline imposed on the design team, what they actually created, while effective, was something of a jury-rigged and temperamental beast. The cyclopean eye of the projector was mounted on a repurposed gun carriage and required a vast amount of power to generate its gravity fields. This even necessitated a smaller carriage to be towed along with it, housing its power generator. The whole assembly needed two vehicles to tow it, consumed enormous amounts of fuel and power, and was extremely unreliable. But, unreliable or not, it proved devastating to anything its cyclopean gaze fell upon. This led to the mass production of Schwerfeld projectors with the aim of replacing conventional anti-vehicle weapons by mid-1946. What followed was a dizzying array of emplacements, new vehicles, and even panzer chassis mounted with the terrifying projector arrays. Although this did not come without an issue or two, but then progress never does. The Panzer, Panther and Puma crews that had these projectors mounted on their hulls noted that the raw power of the weapons led their vehicles to experience metal fatigue, weakening their hulls with use. It also caused all manner of issues with radios and electronics, causing them to fail at the most inopportune moments. So in May of 1946, a smaller, lighter variant was made to combat these self-destructive effects, and soon new vehicles rumbled into the conflict with integrated power generators, increased magnetic shielding, and even new projector arrays. This would become a supplemental weapon replacing many of the coaxial machine guns and light autocannons, allowing for the potent gravity weaponry to become a common sight across many of the Axis vehicle chassis. Now, fans of Konflikt 47 will know the story of these projectors does not end here, and while that may be all we will be discussing for today, the next time we return to their lore, we will also be looking at the Stahltruppen. If you enjoyed that video and you'd like to learn more about the world of Konflikt 47, you can find out more about the setting by clicking the link to your left. Alternatively, to discover the lore for games like 1490 Doom and Trench Crusade, click the video link to your right. Don't forget to join as a channel member for access to the Discord and exclusive artworks commissioned just for your enjoyment, and for discounts on your hobby supplies, check out my affiliate links in the video description. With that, I'll say thank you for watching and I'll see you all soon.